Let's see what happens.
Hey guys, welcome to the stream tonight. It's Rick with BamAquatics. We're glad you can join us tonight on BamAquatics. We appreciate you if you're watching the replay. We appreciate you even more if you're here with us live tonight. We're glad to see everybody here. Tonight we have a special guest with us, but first let's throw it over and let Brandon say hello. Brandon from Maple Street Aquatics is with us as well.
Appreciate it. Yeah. How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, we have a special guest. We got Kendall from Otter Creek Aquatics here tonight. So we got quite a few topics to talk about as usual. We also are going to go through and communicate and hang out with you guys in the chat, talk back and forth, and yeah, we'll get some questions for Kendall and how he keeps his fish. So I don't know, Kendall, you want to say hi to the people?
What's going on, everybody? I just want to thank Brandon and Rick for letting me join their live stream tonight, and hope you guys stay engaged with this live stream. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff that we can go over, and let's have some fun.
All right. Well, it's good to have everybody with us. Looks like we've got Cameron here. We've got Top Secret Aquatics at least. Yeah, we did come just a little bit late there. Just a couple of minutes, though. We didn't want to keep you waiting too long. So anyway, well, hey, Valley Fish. Valley Fish is here as well. We appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. We're honored to have Kendall with us, Otter Creek Aquatics. I like to say here from good old Bama, you know, but tonight it's not just from good old Bama. We're here from some other places as well. Tell everybody where you're from, guys.
We got a lot of Indiana support here. I see Isaiah Jenkins is in the chat. He's a local here, local in the Fish Club. Welcome, Isaiah. And yeah, Kendall's also from Southern Indiana. So I'm from here on the northern side, and he's on the southern side. So definitely some Indiana support tonight. Absolutely. And yeah, let us know in the chat where you guys are from. Rick, you want to get to some of the updates? What we had changed in the fish rooms this week and talk about some of that stuff?
Yeah, we can go ahead and get started on that. You want to start us off?
Sure, I'll start us off. So this would have been last Saturday. I went to the Grand Valley Aquarium Club fall auction, and I went with the anticipation of getting like 3 bags of fish because I only have 3 spare tanks. It's actually a 33 long divided into 3 parts. But I went there with intention of just getting 3 bags of fish, and I did pretty good. I got some Gadiids, multi-radiatus Gadiids. I got some leopard danios. I got another live bear called
3 bags of fish, and I did pretty good. I got some Gadiids, multi-radiatus Gadiids. Got some leopard danios. I got another live bear called 3 bags of fish. Pretty good.
Other than the fish, I also picked up a 125-gallon fish tank and a stand. And I got those 3 bags of fish, 125-gallon fish tank and a stand. I also got a Poecilia volifera, I believe it's volifera, male swordtail that initially came from Greg's stage of Select Aquatics. And then I got a pair of Xenotaka diadri Gadiids. I got all that for like right at $100. So pretty stoked about that. And those are the new additions to the fish room here. I definitely got plenty of tanks, so I need to get to building some racks and get some tanks up. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit, though. Rick, you have any updates from your fish room?
Well, when have you ever been to a fish auction and just got 3 bags of fish, Brandon? Has that ever happened?
No, it was a pretty lofty goal, but is it switching? Is the chat or the video switching back and forth or not? It seems to me like it's been on you the whole time. I'm just curious. Do you get any boxes clicked there, Rick?
No, it's switching on my end.
Okay. As long as it's switching on your end, then I'm good.
Can everybody see all of us? It's switching. Okay, good. I thought so.
Okay, cool.
Got a few people coming into the chat here. Madfish Divas here also. So good to have you. Oh, there's Jeremy. Good to have you with us too. Glad to have you guys joining us tonight. We're just going to hang out a little while and talk about some fish. Maybe talk about other things. You never can tell what we're going to talk about. We start with fish and go from there. So Brandon kind of updated us on what he's got going on in his fish room. He was trying to, hey, Bob, he was trying to go to a fish auction and come back with 3 bags, and that was a lofty goal, as he said, but he failed. He came back with many more bags than that, which is the same thing I would have done. I go to the fish store, go somewhere like that a lot of times to just look. I'm just going to look. I'm not going to get anything. But it's rare that I ever go and don't come back with something. So, but as far as what's been going on in my fish room, really since I got back from seeing Susan in Birmingham with SLC Aquatics, I haven't really added a whole lot of fish. I did make a discovery, though. We've been talking before then. The last two things I got was my Aphyosemian Kofe and Lima perugiae that I got from Dan's Fish. And the killifish didn't seem like they were adapting so well. Well, I discovered something as I was sort of come in when the lights weren't on in the fish room. I noticed that they were moving around a whole lot more. So what I discovered is I'm pretty sure that the tank light is just too bright for them. I know that they kind of like a planted tank and a lot of plants, and so I think I'm going to try to do something to kind of dim that light more, because I think that will actually help a lot in their interaction and coming out more. So I really think they're finally gotten acclimated to the tank. I just think the tank lights were too bright for their liking. So anyway, I'm going to do something there. Right now I've just got the tank lights off, and they seem to be fine, active. So I really think that was where my mistake was made there, was keeping the light too bright. So we all kind of learn from our mistakes, or kind of learn when things maybe aren't going exactly the way we want them to. So that's one of the things I learned this week anyway.
Absolutely.
But besides that, I don't really think I've had a whole lot else going on. Well, I did have I have one fry still left anyway in the Blue Dragon tank. So I did have some fry there. I think maybe they ate some of them, of course, but there's still the other females ready to drop too. So got one fry there, so they are beginning to drop some fry, so that's good. I've been waiting on that. And one of my other shrimp had shrimplets. The Blue Dream and the Black Rose have dropped their shrimplets now. So I have shrimplets in both those tanks. So I'll be looking for some more shrimplets in my in my cherry shrimp and my snowball and the yellow goldenback tank soon. So anyway, so that's basically what I've had going on here. No new additions really, except for some shrimplets and some fry, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to say welcome Bob Kaler's Fish Hobby for being here. And I did see Isaiah said he had a drop of 100 koi guppies today. So thanks for the heads up, Isaiah. I know who to come to for some koi guppies for sure. I'll take some of those. Been wanting some of those from me for a while, anyways.
Yeah, that's a lot of guppies though. Even wow, that's a lot.
That was probably a big female there. But what about you, Kendall? You got anything that's changed in your fish room this past week here? Anything you want to tell us about?
So nothing's really changed in the past week. First off, I want to say to Mad Fish Steve, if those are the ones from Twin City Guppies, those are amazing looking fish. If they're not, I definitely want to check them out. I'd definitely like to get some of those koi guppies. But as far as my fish room goes, I've had some pregnant rainbow mosaic dragons, the Dumbo ears that I've showed in the past. They are getting ready to drop some fry, so that's super exciting. I haven't dropped any fry on them yet. I've got some new Otter Creek Mutt Endler fry. The Pingu guppies that I got from Lucas Brett's, they are growing. And a few streams ago, I talked about my sick green phantom pleco, and I think I've dialed down to what that problem with it is. And I just want to thank all of you for helping me out trying to diagnose that. I had a lot of people reach out to me and try to help me see what was going on with him. But I think he got a hold of some old rotten food that was on the bottom of the tank, and he just got some fungus going on. So I took him out, put him in one of my empty 10 gallons, and I treated it with General Cure. And if any of you seen the picture or the video, his scales were like literally coming off. Like it looked horrible. And all of his scales are starting to come back. He's starting to perk back up. He's eating. He's doing phenomenal. So I just want to once again thank all of you for helping me track that and diagnose that. And as far as the 29-gallon goes, as many of you know, I had a Panda Corridor hatch in my tank, and after that, I found some other Corridor eggs that I pulled out and hatched them in a Tupperware container. And later on, I'm going to do a video. If any of you are breeding Corridors, I'm going to come out with a video on how I done that. It worked super quick. It took about 3 days to get them hatched out, and I got them moved over to the hang on the outside breeder box. So I'm going to grow them out and then get them settled into their own tank. But that's really all I've got going on. I haven't got any new fish or anything except for the new fry. I am looking to get some new fish eventually, but that's all I got going on.
All
Nice.
right.
Mountaintop Fish is in the chat. Thanks for being here, Mountaintop. Sorry about that, Rick. Go ahead.
That's all right. Yeah, I was going to welcome Mountaintop. Howdy, fish neighbor. Good to have you with us. And Peter with Mob Guppy came in too while we were talking. So there's more of you here, I know. There's Mr. D's Tanks and More. Good to have you with us. A lot of people joining in here. We appreciate you for coming on with us. We're just kind of hanging out tonight, talking about what's been going on in our fish room, talking a little bit about upcoming things, and got a few topics planned. But guys, we want to hear from you too. What do you guys want to know? So if you got anything that you want to hear about, want us to talk about, we'll be glad to do to talk about everything, anything you guys want. So we'll be glad to do that. Glad you're all with us. As far as what's been going on in the fish room, I don't know. I'm trying to decide the next direction I'm going to go. I've kind of been thinking a little bit about where exactly do I want to go as a fish keeper. I don't know. I kind of have gotten into live bears, and that's probably where I'll stay. I mean, I've gotten a killifish now, and I like that, so that's the direction I may go in a little bit. So I've kind of been trying to come up with what's my identity as a fish keeper, or what direction am I going to go in? And so what do you guys think? What do you think would be a good direction for me to go in as far as the fish keeper goes? I'm not going to get rid of my guppies, but I may try to sort of, swing a little bit, almost in a little bit different direction. Not probably live bears, but anyway, just wonder what you guys think about that. We didn't really put this on our topic list, so to speak, but that's something that came to my mind that I thought would be something good for us to talk about. And maybe what kind of direction are you guys in the chat going in your fish room? What do you guys got going on, or what direction do you feel like you're going to head? And so, Brandon, I mean, I think I know what you're going to say, but what direction do you feel like you're going to be going in as far as where you're headed in your fish room, or what kind of fish keeper is it you want to be?
Yeah, Rick, that's an interesting question because it really identifies a lot with who you are as a hobbyist or a pet owner. But yeah, my plans from the start really have been to try to do a fish room on a budget, really economically, not a whole lot of money spent. So the main focus for me was to try to make everything that I have, and then from that point bring fish to that. Bring fish that'll work for my water conditions, the temperatures I want to run, which part of the budget for me is that I don't run tank heaters in my tanks. So all of my tanks are lower temperature. So I try to, target species that work good in lower temperatures. And obviously I have a hard water here being in northern Indiana, so live bears work good for me. But I got a lot more tanks to put up. I got a 6-foot tank now on top of a 4-foot tank. So I definitely got a lot of racks to build and tanks to put up, and I want to keep working with stuff and finding new stuff that's going to work good with my temperature and my water. And I'm probably going to get away from live bears a little bit. I'm probably going to head for maybe some native species or some more rare species, anything that'll work good in cold water. So if you guys have any recommendations for me for cold water fish that will be happy, in the summertime, the tanks are in the 70s, mid to low 70s. In the wintertime, the tanks are down in the 60s. So, that's kind of my goal as a fish keeper is build my fish room on a budget, make it maintainable and enjoyable, and Yeah. What about you, Kendall?
Yeah, I definitely agree with building a fish room on a budget. And you bring up a good point when you talk about having no heaters in your tanks. So in a couple of my 10 gallons on my breeding rack, I have actual heaters in. And then in my shrimp tanks, I don't have heaters in either one of them. And the temperatures are almost identical. So what I suggest for anyone, whenever you go to set up a new tank, wait a couple weeks as you're cycling the tank to put an actual heater in there and see what the temperature is actually going to run. If you have a fish room in your house, like myself and Rick, we have them in spare bedrooms, and the temperature in my house stays relatively warm all year round. So even in the winter, it's probably a lot better without using a heater than in the summer when you're going to have your house a lot cooler. But as far as it goes as where I want to go with my fish room, like I said, I have it in a spare bedroom, and already I'm running out of room. So the first thing that I'm looking into is going to be finding a way that I can expand room, and that way I can bring in more tanks to overall support my hobby and grow my fish room to the full potential that I can handle. And when you guys are building your fish rooms, don't overwhelm yourself. I know sometimes it seems like a lot if you have a lot of tanks. You have to do water changes on 10 tanks in one day. So don't overextend yourself when you're building your fish rooms. Take it slow, and eventually you'll get where you want to get.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's good advice. You definitely don't want to get more than you can take care of. That's not good for you, not good for your fish. So that's definitely good advice, though, Kendall.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay within your within what you're able to take care of. We had several people coming in the chat. Also, Fish Tropic came in. Matt's Monster Fish. Who else came in? A few more may have come in.
Guys, appreciate it. Looks like a good turnout.
Yeah, we've got about 16 here in the chat. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, since we were just talking about no heaters and stuff, what if you want to touch base on temperature-wise, like how temperatures we keep our tanks at?
Yeah, we can do that. I heard a lot of people talking, on the same topic about the, Amica splendens and some other goodeids. I'm terrible with these names. I probably didn't pronounce that right.
Yeah, there is a couple of species of goodeids that are real good with cooler temperatures. I actually have one that's the multiradiatus goodeids, the ones I just got. They don't even recommend keeping those above 72, so those are a great fit for down here.
And that's actually one of the directions I had looked at going is the goodeids because, a lot of some of those are actually extinct in the wild and they're just being kept by hobbyists and people that keep them in their tanks. I know there's been one species that has been reintroduced down into some of the Mexican waters down there. They had a reintroduction program, which is amazing. But, as fish keepers like all of us here, have had a part in that by keeping them in the hobby, and that way they didn't completely go extinct. So that's one way that I thought about going and something that I'm really interested in. So that might be one way I go. And I saw a lot of people mention that, but I don't know a lot of people that actually keep those, that at least that I'm aware of. I know there's a lot. I'm beginning to learn more and more as you begin to get interested in something and search it out. You find more about those species than you maybe knew before. But yeah, Carrie.
I know Matt Fila has some Amica splendens.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just talking with her about that, and then there is a number of people around my area that do have them. One of my good friends has quite a few species. There's a guy in Chicago, Andrew. He's got a whole bunch of goodeids. He's on YouTube here. He's got a YouTube channel, and then even Sergeant Tank up in Grand Rapids has some. So they're and also Greg Sage, Select Aquatics, he has quite a few goodeids. So there's a number of people to get them from out there, but yeah, they are a cool fish and getting kind of rare. Maybe not rare, but getting almost extinct, and some are extinct. So it's cool that a fish hobby can save a fish from nature like that, from man, I guess, rather.
Yeah, we've had several people join in. Daryl's joined in. Tim's Aquariums has come in. Friday Fish Facts. Good to have all you guys here with us.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Learning to Fish Keep. Don't know if we mentioned them yet.
Oh, yeah. Cameron. Thanks for being here, Cameron. So, yeah, I guess if you want to, we'll talk about temperatures. Like I said, I don't run any heaters in my tanks. And right now, my bottom tanks here on the lower rack are about 69 degrees. These tanks here on the top are about 71, 72. So that's the fluctuation here from the floor up. And I imagine it's going to get a little bit cooler as the temperatures cool off. So the 90, I think, is normally right around 70 degrees. So I really don't set. Obviously, I don't pick the temperature that I keep my fish in, other than I just kind of let what happens down here happen. And, it hasn't had any ill effects yet. Some of the guppies have slowed down, but they're still breeding, and I'm still finding fry. There's fry, on a weekly basis. So yeah, my goal is to come through winter with some hardy fish, some of the strongest of the strong, and breed those out and breed some fish that will be happy and thriving in cool water. And that's my focus. What about you, Kendall? What kind of temperatures do you run in your tank?
Each of my tanks run relatively different, and I definitely want to talk about guppy breeding. So as many of you know, I've been breeding a lot of guppies, and in my 29 gallon, I started out with the temperature high, and that really impacted the breeding rate. My guppies were breeding like crazy, and as the tank started to fill up with more guppies, I kindly started backing down that temperature. That way they were slowing down their reproduction, and that way I wasn't going to be overfilling the tank with a bunch of fish, or the fish end up eating the fry because there's too many in there. So I kind of just want to wait until these fish grow out, and then once I get rid of them, and then I'll start cranking back up that temperature, so my guppies will start breeding relatively quicker again. As it comes to my shrimp tanks, like I already said, I don't run any heaters in them. And the reason behind that is because I believe that shrimp, especially neocaridinias, they're not really that finicky, except for when it comes to temperature. If you have huge temperature swings, you are going to see an increase in loss of your neocaridinia shrimp. And then all my other tanks, I actually run heaters, but I think that the overall temperature, the ambiance of the room, is taking care of the temperature as well. But if they do drop below that certain point, then my heaters kick on and take care of the rest of it. What about you, Rick?
Yeah, most of my tanks I keep at between 76, 78. Most of my tanks do have heaters. I have a tank that I have some Neos in that is not heated. I was just checking the tanks right now, and I have a couple that I haven't hooked heaters up yet too, and they're at right now at 74 degrees in the room without any heat on or the heater in the tank. Right now, since I'm in here, my room is at 76 degrees. We've got the lights on, and I'm in here and it's closed up. So just the room temperature, keeps it pretty warm. But I do have heaters in the tanks. They don't run all that often. This room, gets down to maybe 70 degrees right now at night. We haven't had that many cold nights lately, but so most of mine are kept about 76. I chose that temperature because, as with guppies, which is primarily what I have here in my fish room right now, guppies, they grow faster at higher temperatures, but they also have a shorter lifespan. So I sort of tried to pick somewhere in the middle where maybe they would still grow, not at a snail's pace, but that their lifespan would be fairly long too. So, I sort of picked something in the middle that I thought was a happy medium, so to speak. So anyway, that's how I chose that temperature. But like I say, most of the time the temperature sort of takes care of itself. The heaters don't run all that often, but they're just here sort of as a fail-safe, I guess. And I still have a couple of tanks. I haven't even hooked the heaters up in the tanks yet. I was just waiting to kind of do what Kendall was talking about and just sort of see what they got to. I knew they wouldn't get below 70. And usually this room stays, about 73 or 74 degrees because of the heaters in some of the tanks will keep it, that temperature. So anyway, we had a few people in the chat that was talking.
There was a question I wanted to get to. Top Secret Aquatics asked, Brandon, do you like your rack the way it is, covered kind of like a fish store? Is it hard to maintain with that little room? Yeah, I mean, here's what I do. It's right here. I keep it around like a key. My little screw gun here, and I got all. This is basically this is like corrugated plastic. It's like, if you can imagine what cardboard is, but made out of plastic. And I just got little wood screws in it, and bam, like 15 seconds, and one of those is off. If I have to get in it to move stuff around or to pull a lot of plants out, I have little slits cut in it where I can access a hole in the lid. So when I do my water changes, I don't normally gravel vac every time, so I'll stick the suction line in there and draw the water out and fill right through that. So for weekly tank maintenance, I don't have to mess with it. If it's something I do major in the tank, then I'll just pop that off, and and it works good. It works out better for me to enjoy it. It's not as bright and is in my face with the way the lights are, and it's better to take pictures, better to shoot video. So it works out good for me. Were there any other questions, Rick?
I was just, and there was they were asking how to reset it, and I'm not sure that there's necessarily a way to reset it. I was just going to suggest that you maybe unplug it and leave it unplugged for a little while, and maybe it reset itself. But as far as that goes, I'm not sure there's a way to reset like the preset heaters. No. Most of mine are not preset. They're the kind with the dial, but afraid it may have just gone bad on you. I hate to say, but what wattage heaters? Someone's mentioned the different wattage heaters that they use. I use 100-watt heaters in all my tanks. You could probably get away with a 50-watt heater in the 10-gallon tanks, but most of mine are 100-watt heaters.
Yeah, I'd also like to say, if you're talking about heaters, like this 90-gallon, the size of the heater depends on obviously how big a tank you got, but it also depends on how much of a temperature difference you're trying to heat the water from where the water naturally occurs. So down here in the 60s, if I was to try to heat this tank, and I tried to do it last year with piranhas in it, and I went through like 5 heaters, and I had 300, and I had a 500-watt heater in here, and I still burn up heaters because it's so cool, and they're trying to heat that water up so much, they work so hard. And that was kind of part of my transition away from heaters, was soaking all that money in heaters that kept burning up.
Yeah, bye, Madfish Diva. Glad you could join us. Come back and see us again.
Yeah, we'll see you, Diva.
Yeah, that's the reason. One reason I chose the 100-watt heaters is so they don't have to work as hard. So hopefully they would, even keeping the tanks at about 76 or 78, they would last longer because they don't have to work as hard. So that was sort of my thought, is that the math, if they don't work as hard and they last longer, you spend, a few extra bucks to get the 100-watt instead of the 50-watt, it would be worth it.
Yep, definitely get redundancy if you overbuild something like that. It doesn't have to work near as hard.
SC asked a question about the heaters. Do we use name brand heaters, or do you have success with the cheap Amazon stuff? I myself do not use name brand heaters. I use the cheap, actually I get mine from eBay, and they have worked okay for me up to this point. I could have a horror story to tell at some point, I don't know, but so far they've worked fine for me. Just getting the heaters that aren't as expensive have worked fine. But like I say, I could have problems with them somewhere down the road, but so far it's okay.
Yeah. What kind of heaters do you use, Kendall? You got a.
So I use the Eheim meter heaters, and the wattage that I use is 50 watts in my 10-gallon tanks. In my 55-gallon, I have a 300-watt, and the 29 and the 38, they both have 150-watt heaters. And real quick, while we're still on this subject, I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys run any like external heaters that heat the whole room, or is it just based on clearly what your house is running?
Yeah, I'm going to have a space heater probably here on the floor at some point this winter when it gets really chill here. But what about you, Rick?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I'm going to do the same thing probably to keep this room. I like it a little cooler in the house. So when it gets to be wintertime, I'll let the temperature drop a little bit. And here in Alabama in the summertime, if I had it as cool as I like it, then probably the heating and the air conditioning bill would be through the roof. But in the wintertime, I can get it cool here, cooler. And so I'll probably have a heater in here just to keep this room temperature a little bit more consistent.
Yeah. I also got a wood stove in the house too. So that's like 90% of the time my house is way, way hot. So the heat always kind of moves down here anyways. So what else do you want to talk about? We'll pretty much cover that.
Yeah, Tim had said that he likes uniform. He likes one heater on each side of the tank to keep the heat right throughout the tank. And Learning to Fish Keep seconded that. Does anybody else in the chat use more than one heater in the tank? I have just one heater in my tanks.
See, Mountaintop Fish, he's like right up my alley there. He just heats with his house with wood. There you go. Good old mountain heat. That's what we do up here in Indiana too.
Yeah, and Bob says he's going to use an oil heater between the two fish rooms to save on the heater use. Yeah, that's what I plan on doing too, Bob.
So did we didn't really get a chance to run Kendall through the ringer here about what he does on his fish tanks as far as any chemicals he might use, water conditioners, how his water change schedules are. I mean, we all kind of stock the same fish. We all kind of got quite a few live bears and stuff like that. So, Kendall, you want to take a few minutes and maybe run down real quick, like your water change schedule and typical maintenance and some of the chemicals and stuff, conditioners you might use?
Yeah, for sure. So usually I check my nitrates on every single Saturday, and that is going to give me a good indication on what type of water change I should do. Usually it's a small 10 to 20% water change, but something to just get that better quality water in those tanks. And when it comes to my shrimp tanks, they don't produce a lot of ammonia, so the nitrates usually stay really low. So I usually don't change the water in those tanks for a month, maybe two. And that's what's really good about Neocaridina shrimps. They really like that kind of muckier water, not really like horrible water conditions. The water's still good, but they like that tank to be dirty. That way they can constantly be roaming and feeding on different things. But as far as what I use when I do my water changes, I use a Python, which is a sink-driven siphon. You just go and hook it up to the sink, and then you turn the water on. It pulls the water out and disposes of it into the sink, and then you can reverse it and send water from the tank or from the sink over to your tank. So it's really efficient, and I have little digital thermometers on each of my tanks. So when I'm going to be doing a water change, I'll check the temperature of the tank, and then I'll go and check the temperature of the water that's in the sink. That way I know that my temperature is not going to fluctuate a whole lot. As far as water conditioners, I use the Tetra AquaSafe Plus, and I really haven't had any trouble out of it. And then once I get done with my water changes, that's usually when I add my fertilizers like Aquarium Co-op Easy Green, Easy Iron, and Easy Carbon. What about you, Brandon? How you do your water changes?
Yeah, I do. I pretty much try to stick to a weekly schedule. Keeps it consistent for me. I probably do it on Saturdays 95% of the time, but I do like probably 25% water changes on about every tank. And I use Prime, and I run tap water here just through like a RV carbon canister filter. And yeah, going back up. As far as fertilizers, I use Seachem. I got Flourish and Excel. That's really all I use for fertilizers. I do have some root tabs and some of the substrate around some of the bigger plants, some of the bigger stem plants. But yeah, I think I try to normally dose my plant fertilizers like every other water change. I might have to step it up a little bit. They probably could use a little more fertilizer, but I try to keep it kind of on the light side. So, Rick, you want to explain your water change method while we're on the topic?
Yeah, I can. We've been through it before, but I basically use the Python too. I change about 20% or so once a week, at least once a week. If I get to it a little bit more often than that, I like that. But usually it's about once a week, about 20%. Use Prime, and I dose my Prime when I do a water change. Even though I only change 20%, I dose it, at least half. Half what it would normally be for the full tank. Just to make sure, I guess. But anyway, I use some fertilizer every now and then for my plants. I've got just Aquarium Co-op's Easy Green. Kendall's advertising for them tonight on his shirt there, and I use their Easy Green fertilizer. So, and I use some root tabs occasionally too, but primarily the Easy Green. So. What about you guys in the chat? Do y'all, how often do you do your changes? And do you have certain chemicals or certain water conditioners you like to use? What do you guys do?
Yeah, I've been thinking about switching into the other C-Chem product for water conditioning. It's like a powder or a granule. I guess it's a lot more efficient. You can get a lot more water through it.
Yeah, I don't remember what that's called, but I've seen others that, is it called Safe maybe?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's what it's called, if I remember correctly. You remembered, not me.
I think it may be.
You want to? Did you want to talk about driftwood?
Yeah, we can. I have some driftwood actually that I'm soaking right now. Well, it's actually ash that I got. I have a guy that had made some of these for me. And they're like hideouts, as I call them, or hideaways. They look like this. It's just made out of ash. He sort of drills these out of ash. And I've got one of these that I've had soaking for probably about a week that I wanted to add to the tank, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what it looks like. Most of you probably have done this before or seen it, but this was clear water at one point, and as you can see, it's no longer clear. And all it has, I've got this there to weight it down, but
you're not drinking that, are you? It looks like you might be drinking that.
No, but it's just this piece of wood here that I've had soaking here. Yeah, I've got a cup here. If you'd like to have some, I'll send you some.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's to weight it down. But yeah, as you can see, it leaches out a lot of different stuff when you first do that. So we were talking about that a little bit earlier.
Isaiah says he tries to get his once a week, at least twice a week. He has well water. Yeah. Normally, I think well water seems like it's a little bit better than having tap water. You probably don't have to use dechlorinators and all that stuff when you're on well water. Probably got some nice minerals in the water too for your plants.
Yeah, that's some new sweet tea I've got. I haven't added the sugar to it yet, but I'll get some in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start selling it so you guys can have some of it.
Start bottling it up, Rick.
Yeah. New Alabama tea. Ash tea, Mountaintop says. Yeah. Some of the guys on here mentioned that they use Prime.
Yep.
Bob said he started using Safe recently. So, Bob, what do you think about Safe? Do you like it better? Do you think it makes any difference? I mean, I know it's supposed to be a little bit more economical anyway. So, what do you think about it, Bob? Let us know.
How do you use it too? Do you put it like in a little glass and dissolve it, or do you just sprinkle it on since it's a powder? I was kind of curious about that. Let us know, Bob. And I think Cameron said he was using it too. No, he's using it. Okay, never mind. So that's how you soak your driftwood, just your little pieces in the house there. I got when I get my driftwood, I get it locally. I harvest it around here. And I got a 55-gallon drum outside that I soak it in and take it out and blast it with the power washer and treat it before I put it in tanks. And like that tank right there is a 90-gallon with a big old piece of white ash in it too. So that's the driftwood I use, all local harvested. Try to find hardwood. You don't want the stuff that's real soft and squishy. It's rotten already. You want that stuff that's hard and lasts a while. And the plecos love it. What about you, Kendall? What do you use for driftwood?
So to soak my driftwood, I just have a little cooler that I have out in the garage. Fill it up with some water and throw the driftwood in there. If it's not sinking yet, I'll usually take a rock and set it on top of it, and that'll keep it all the way down in the water. I've heard about people boiling their driftwood and everything, but it gets really hard when it comes to like spider wood that's all jumbled up and everything. And especially if you have a lot bigger pieces that you don't really have a big enough pot to boil it in. So I usually skip that part, and I've really had no trouble with it. Right now, I actually have a piece that wouldn't even fit in the cooler, so I just put it in the 38-gallon behind me, and I put a rock on it. You can see the water's kind of starting to turn a little brown from the tannins, but nothing a little water change won't clear up.
Yeah. What kind of wood is that, Kendall?
It's all Malaysian.
Okay.
I use all Malaysian in my tanks, and especially my shrimp tanks. Neocaridinias love Malaysian driftwood. I thought about switching to the Manzanita in my 55-gallon. One of my buddies from work, he actually has some really, really cool pieces of Manzanita driftwood, and he got his off of manzanitadriftwood.com, I believe is the website, and it's just some really phenomenal looking pieces.
Nice.
Yeah, all my shrimp tanks, I've got some the little cholla wood that I put in there. It comes from the cactus out in the desert, but I put that mostly in my shrimp tanks. A lot of the microorganisms grow on that, and the shrimp love to like nibble on that. So I put that in my my shrimp tanks. It's the cholla wood. So
Well, I guess my shrimp are not getting spoiled over here because I don't have any wood in my shrimp tanks. I might have to get on top of that. Learning to fish Keep says, I wish I could go hike and find some driftwood. Check your local laws. Check your local laws and regulations before you go harvesting driftwood. Just be conscious of the legalities. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, I'd said the same thing, that I'd like to possibly go and go hike around the river or something and find some driftwood. And Brandon had me in handcuffs going to jail. So just kidding, but he did mention that, and that's a great advice too. To be sure that you do follow the law, abide by the law. There are some laws, especially on public land, sometimes about what you can and can't do. I know, especially like in national forests and places like that, there are some really strict laws, and you can get in a pretty hefty fine. So.
Yep.
Yeah, so many different laws. That's right, learning to fish.
I know too. I got these contraband snails down here, as Rick calls them. So yeah, there's laws and regulations on fish too.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what you say on YouTube because it gets out there. So folks now know about your contraband snails.
I know.
I get to Alabama and he's got them in Indiana somehow. I don't know how that happened. Can't take them across state lines, so I don't know how they got to Indiana. That's what I want to know.
They came across the internet. That's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so Rick, tell me about them blue dragons. You trying to get them breeding up there or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them breeding up there. Got plenty of duckweed in there for them, so giving the fry some cover up there on top. Hoping they'll breed. I got the one fry there. I know they had more than one fry, so they must have been hungry. So they've got all this moss over here, but they tell me I need some more guppy grass. I've even got some lava rock in there.
I think you could use some more guppy grass right in the middle there in that big open section. That'd be a good little safe haven for a bunch of fry. If you're looking to get some fry, I think that's what you need to do. Put some cover.
Not all have to have a bunch of to make fry. Like these guys behind me.
Yeah. I
mean, they just pump out fry. Those are the American greens, and I mean to tell you what, they just pump out some fry. Anyway, I don't know. I'm trying to get some blue dragons, but I'm sure we'll have some more before too long. Hope you guys aren't drunk or dizzy from your little ride there. I didn't even warn you to put your seatbelt on or anything.
Where'd you get those at, Rick?
These came from Florida, from Stephen Portler.
Okay.
Hey, once you get those breeding, we're gonna have to do some trading. You know that, right?
Yeah, that'd be good. We'll do that.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this hobby too, is if you get kind of in these groups where people have the same interests as you, and you guys have different types of the same kind of fish, then you're breeding them out, and you can do some trading. That way, you can both build up your inventory. And I heard one really good thing about if you have like some rare fish that you come across and you start breeding them, always, always, always have a backup plan. Like maybe give some to your buddy or share some with someone else. That way, if you guys have a tank crash or anything, then you'll always be able to have that backup plan.
Yeah, that's good advice. I've seen that on several different places, but one place where I remember it recently is with Rob 93 and the angelfish that he's got there that he kept for. Well, what's his name? Y'all tell me. No, Angel Creek.
Yeah, aquafoam.
Aquaphone. Yeah, he had some of his. Yeah, there was some kind of problem there where some angelfish got missing somehow. I don't want to get into all that. I don't really know the details. But luckily, Rob 93 had some of his angelfish, so Aquafunk's going to be able to get his angelfish back, so or get the same line back. So it's important for whatever circumstance may happen. Your tank may crash. You may have something happen. So, yeah, it's awesome if you don't have more than one tank or have them in two separate tanks that you get those out to someone else so they can continue that line on like you were talking about. That's great advice. I'm about to get some white cloud mountain minnows from Mountaintop, as a matter of fact. So I've been wanting some of those, so I'm going to get some of those and add them to one of my tanks in the other room there. So
that's awful fitting that you're getting some white cloud mountain minnows from Mountaintop. That's pretty nice there. That's a good
Mountaintop mountain minnows. Yeah, I'm going to get the real mountain minnows from the Mountaintop. I mean, come on. That's where they come from, right?
That's authentic. See, Gary's Aquatics in the house. Thanks for being here, Gary. Mountaintop wanted to catch some northern studfish, but they are protected. I'm not even sure what a northern studfish is, but that sounds pretty cool.
And what kind of white-looking moss are you talking about, Mountaintop? Is that something you found locally there? And also, I got some snails from Mountaintop, too. Snails are still doing great, Mountaintop.
Yeah, and speaking of swapping stuff, I am supposed to be giving Rick some Daphnia from my Daphnia culture, but I got to get some fish bags, so that's my holdup. I have yet to ship anything live out. So, Rick, I think you're going to be my first one.
Oh, wow. I feel honored.
When I get to it.
When you get to it, of course. That's the way it goes. Oh, wow. Jeremy hasn't been active. He's been here, but his work keeps calling him. They just keep calling you, not even at work, Jeremy. That happens to somebody besides me. They don't call me, but they text me.
Yeah, they call me too, and that's never good because that means I got to go in.
I don't usually go in, but I usually answer the text and answer whatever question I got. So I'm glad you're still here, Jeremy. Maybe they'll leave you alone where you can enjoy the chat for a little while. Native killifish, Mountaintop says.
Oh, nice. Nice. There you go. I got some killifish, some golden panchecks. You got some killifish too, Rick. What kind of yours?
Appiosimian Kofe.
Gotcha.
2010-23, I think. They don't have a name yet. So
are they vampires? They don't like the bright light, right?
They're vampire killifish, yes. or maybe they just they're pale skinned and don't want a sunburn or something. Local wood moss, Mountaintop said about that white moss. That's cool. Yeah, I like the way you take a lot of local things, Mountaintop, and sort of so use those in your aquarium. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
Brandon, of course, likes that idea too. He's going to try to get some more local type fish. But the way you use the snails and you've got the moss that you use and you've got some wild caught fish, I think that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yep. Kendall, what kind of fish do you got? I don't think I know all the fish you got. You want to do a rundown on the fish you got?
Yeah, I can do that real quick.
How many tanks you got too for the people? Might not know.
11.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have the Rainbow Mosaic Dragon Dumbo ears. I know that name's super long, and I don't know where they come up with them, but they're just the Dumbo ear guppies. Got really good color. I got some Endlers, and it's just a mixed tank where I've been breeding mixed genes. I've got a Fire Red Shrimp, Blue Dream Shrimp, the Pingu Guppies, which Pingu I think is Japanese for pink. So they actually have a pink color. They're really cool looking. I talked about my green phantom pleco. A whole bunch of mixed gene guppies, panda corridoras. I have a pair of angelfish that bred for me multiple times, but now once I moved them to a bigger tank, now I can't seem to get them to breed. Behind me in the 55, I have some dwarf neon rainbows that if you guys watch my unboxing from Aquatic Arts, you've seen that I got 14 of them. Raspberry hets, cherry barbs, and I also have some peppered corridors. And that is it.
Nice. That's a nice selection.
Yeah,
But
no plecos?
yeah, I have a green phantom.
That's just a green phantom. No other plecos?
Yep, he's the only one.
Yeah, I'm plecoless. So far, I have no plecos.
Oh, Rick, it's terrible.
If Michael was here from Mile High Plecos, he would definitely be on my case.
Actually,
But
found one in here in the 90. He's just a little bitty guy. He's like, I don't know. He's probably 3 inches, and he's got little bristles already on his face. So I didn't think they sexed out that young, unless he's just showing early or something. But
yeah, maybe he's just growing up fast.
yeah, puberty hit him, huh?
Yeah.
So we're. Did you ever? I know you had a beta you were trying to get a name on. Did you ever? Anything ever come of that, Rick?
Oh yeah. Well, in live stream I did. I guess Tuesday, a couple of days ago. It was my anniversary being on YouTube 2 months, so I did a little impromptu live stream and tried to get some ideas to name my beta in there. And I got several names. I didn't really get a whole lot of input on it. I got Blueberry. Brandon was one of the suggestions I got. Suggested that name. But Uncle Sam was one. So anyway, there was probably some more too. I don't remember. So hey, Sandy, good to have you with us. So if any of you saw that stream and remember the bet I had in there and have an idea for a name, go ahead and put that in there. Oh, O'Hara, that's
right. We just lost Kendall. He done dropped off. He fell right out the bottom.
We bored him to death. Maybe he'll join us again. It's terrible when you bore your guest and they leave. I mean, come on.
Hey, look, hey, there you go. Isaiah's telling you need to get some plecos. He's right. You need some plecos.
I know. I need some plecos. I may. Bob has some regular plecos that maybe I might talk to him about getting some of his. I've been talking to Mile High about getting a couple like the Blue Eyes and the Leopard, I believe, pleco. But anyway, we'll get with him. But I may just need to get me a few. Just a few from Bob. He's got some plain plecos, just the regular brown plecos, I believe.
Well, you need to talk to Isaiah. I'm not sure. Isaiah, do you ship fish? Let us know. But he's the guy for the plecos too. He'll hook you up with some plecos.
Oh, okay.
All kinds of plecos, all different colors and kinds.
Oh, good. Then Isaiah, maybe you're the guy I need to be talking to.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get into some plecos, so I need some to put in the 20 gallons in the other room. So. I'm actually going to be setting up some 20 longs before, during the winter sometime. And I definitely want to get a couple of different varieties to put in there. So hopefully that will work out.
Welcome back, Kendall. Are you there?
Yeah, the collectibles, I probably wouldn't want to start with the collectibles just yet. But yeah, I'm looking to get some. So Mountaintop had set up earlier that a bear's been getting his chickens. So that's terrible.
Are you back, Kendall?
Am I back?
Did you back? You must have hit an X or something, huh?
It's 2018 and this internet connection's horrible. How's that?
Okay, I got you.
We're glad you're back.
What's your speed? You know what your internet speed is?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty high though.
Is it?
Yeah, Isaiah, I see you're breed lots of bristlenose types. That's awesome. If you don't mind, send me an email, BamAquaticsFish@gmail.com. It should be at the top of the stream there too. So send me an email and let me know what you got, and we'll talk about that because I do definitely want to get some plecos. And Michael at Mile High, he doesn't seem to have any right now. So
Rick, he's in the Michigan Aquarium Society on Facebook.
okay,
You'll see him in there. He's on Facebook.
okay.
On Facebook. So. If he ships nationwide. He'll hook you up. He's got some quality fish. He's where I got all of my plecos, besides just a very few at the last auction before. Yeah, he's got some.
Isaiah, I'll look you up then, and I'll either send you a Facebook message or you send me an email. Either way, but yeah, Sandy had some of her cories that spawned again. That's awesome. Maybe you'll get some that will hatch out for you, Sandy. I hope so. Mountaintop has some mosquito fish.
Oh yeah. Those are called what? Gambusia? I think
that's right.
Hey, what are your guys' thoughts on some ponds? Do you have any? You have plans of getting any?
Yeah, I do. I plan on digging one in the spring. That's my plans. And I got a pretty nice area picked out for it. It's probably going to be, I want it to be maybe close to 1,000 gallons. I want to do like a liner pond. But I don't know what I'm going to put in it. I mean, I'm going to put some live bears in it. I'm going to try to probably breed all kinds of stuff in it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I definitely am looking at a pond. Are you, Rick?
Yeah, I don't know about a pond, but I'm planning on doing some tubs, definitely starting in the spring. Here in Alabama, I'll have a long season to have the tubs out there. I'll be able to put them out like in, March probably, and then leave them out all the way up through probably, we just had cold weather the last few weeks, so all the way up through October probably. So I plan on having some tubs. I don't know about a pond, but probably some tubs outside to breed some live bears and some different things into. Probably put some of those, if I get the white clouds, I'll probably maybe put some of those out there and see how that goes.
So when Mountaintop was talking about using stuff from around like his area to put in his tanks, that's kind of what made me think of this, because if you can go out and get like maybe a couple bass or some big catfish that you can put in a big tank that's around your house, and then you can use some different things from like the river or that pond that you got those fish from. I mean, that's just recreating their environment, and I think that's what a lot of people fail to do in this hobby. And I really like to see people who put the time and effort into trying to recreate the area that those fish come from. And I know a lot of breeders, they're constantly pulling fish out and stuff, so they can't really do it. But like in some of your tanks where you just have fish that it's like a display tank, I think it's really important to create that environment that those fish come from. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I enjoy a tank better if it's more natural looking. Like if you got, what do they call that? Unicorn vomit or unicorn poop gravel, where it's like all of pinks and purples and neon colors, plastic plants. I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you like, and that's all good. But personally, for me, I get more enjoyment out of tanks that look natural. When you look at it, it could, like Kendall said, kind of recreate nature. You can see that fish maybe in its natural habitat. I definitely enjoy that more. But
yeah, I think I know a lot of people who breed fish, and that's sort of what I'm doing. I mean, I really enjoy my fish too, don't get me wrong. But I am breeding fish, and I do hope to sell some in the future. But you know, a lot of people that do that, they like the bare bottom tanks because it's so easy to take care of. But mine's kind of a twofold thing. I like to enjoy the fish as well as breed the fish and possibly sell the fish. So I like to have my tanks with without a bare bottom, have something there, and to have some plants and some things that they like to have naturally instead of just having that bare bottom where it's so sterile looking, and it's just like I don't know, almost like a hatchery, which is okay if that's what people like. That's fine, you know, and that makes it easier if that's what they're doing, especially maybe if they're doing it for a living. And I definitely could understand that. But it's whatever you like for your fish room. But for me, I just like the more natural look and something that makes it more appealing to me to look at. You know, that's the reason when I was thinking, excuse me, about changing my tanks around behind me, I was thinking about possibly turning them on sideways where, you know, you see only the small side of the tank. And I decided not to do that simply because I like to have to be able to see the fish better and to be able to look and to watch them and to enjoy them. So that's sort of why I didn't do that, is so I could enjoy them more by having this larger side out. Now I may do that on a few tanks I'm going to add to a rack later. I think I'm going to do that on maybe 4 tanks, turn them the other way. But I like that as well, to have that sort of more natural look.
Absolutely. I seen Jeremy's Wild Studio says he wants a pond so bad. First he needs a yard. All he has now is a deck. So.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I was thinking, is to do the tubs, Jeremy. You know,
that's what he responded with. He said maybe I can do a patio bowl. That's a cool idea. I mean, yeah, use whatever space you have.
One of those big tubs, you know, you can get maybe at Walmart that you use to maybe put toys or whatever in, as long as it's, you know, watertight. I've seen people using those like tubs like that. And that's probably what I'm going to do, get 3 or 4 of those and fill those up, throw some fish out there and see what happens. You know, hopefully I know, I think maybe, was it Mountaintop that I saw that had some tubs? I believe it was Mountaintop that I saw that had some tubs with all different kinds of stuff out there. And I've seen Michael's Fish Room, he did that too. And several other people I've seen that do that. So I think that's a really good idea.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Grow some good fish outside and get a lot of mosquito larvae and sunshine, algae, all sorts of good stuff. Definitely going to be doing that next year.
Yeah, natural is the way to go, Mountaintop says.
Yeah. Yeah, and pretty much anything that can hold water, you can build a tub out of. And I've seen a lot of creative ideas, people doing that. And I've never done it myself, but I've heard that if you are breeding fish outside or keeping fish outside, you'll never see more of a true color in a fish than if they're outside, because they're getting that natural food and they're getting that natural environment, that natural sunlight, and that just brings out the full potential that the fish has.
Yeah, Mountaintop's got to go. Well, see you later, fish neighbor. Glad you could join us. Glad you're here. I was going to ask you, you know, maybe next time or in the comments later, let us know about that patio or that tub where you keep goldfish outside all the time, because being where you are, I think it would get too cold. I would think it got too cold here, but I guess maybe not. So let us know about that tub that you were mentioning.
Goldfish are pretty tough, too. I see Isaiah Jenkins says he keeps a bunch of 55s outside. He definitely, I've seen pictures of some stuff that he's bred in those outside 55s, and he does good with his tanks outside during the summer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. Arachnid Aquatics asks, what's the other 2 channels' names? So my channel's name is Maple Street Aquatics. My name's Brandon.
Kendall. And my channel is Otter Creek Aquatics, and my name is Kendall.
Yeah, so everybody be sure to go on those channels and subscribe. It'd be great if you don't know everybody in the chat. Maybe you check them out and see what they're all about too. We've got some great people here in the chat, some people that have a lot of knowledge here. It's a great place to come and talk and to learn from each other. That's what we do, because we definitely aren't experts on anything. We try to learn and do research and things like that, but a lot of you guys have a lot more knowledge than we do, so we appreciate everybody being here. So yeah, go ahead and sub everybody that you hadn't. Check them out, and especially these 2 guys that are here with me tonight.
Yeah, we don't know everything, but we just look professional. That's all. We just don't know everything.
That's what Brandon says, but I don't know. I said I'm here for comic relief, and he said, yeah, to look professional. And I said, well, I don't look professional, do I? Anyway, maybe.
Look at that button-up shirt you got on there, though. You got a comment.
Oh, guys from Alabama have button-up shirts. Oh, me.
Jeremy's Wild Studio says he's subbing everyone in the chat now. So, yeah, there you go. Spread the love.
Can
I mean, all the people that are here on this live stream are Fish Fam. These are people that, these are all your friends. We are all your friends. So check everybody out.
Yeah, there it is. Go ahead and type something in the chat, Brandon, where they can find you there, too.
Oh, someone already got me. Learning to fish keep. Thanks, Cameron. There you go. They got me.
All right, good deal.
I think we're going to have Cameron on next week. I don't know. We haven't set it in stone. I haven't really talked with Rick a whole lot about it, but yeah, I think Cameron might be on from Learning to Fish Keep. We're going to have him possibly on as a guest next week. So that will be on my channel, Maple Street Aquatics.
Yeah, we rotate this thing back and forth here, so glad you could be here with me. But don't forget, next week, same time, I think, right? 7:30 again on Thursday.
Yeah.
On Maple Street Aquatics channel. We'll do sort of a similar thing. We'll get together and we'll just talk about fish and whatever else comes to mind.
Let us know in the comments or in the chat what you think. We might even have Kendall come back. I mean, we don't want to get a whole lot of people. You get a whole lot, 6, 7 people on the chat. It gets kind of hard to keep a conversation going. But yeah, let us know what you guys think and if you're enjoying it or not. Appreciate all your comments.
Yeah, I'll put their names in the description. I'll do that. I should have done that at the beginning, but I'll do that for sure.
I definitely appreciate you guys having me, and any of you guys who are putting fish tube content out there, definitely try and get a hold of them and have them bring you on. It's been a lot of fun hanging out before the actual live stream. We got to talk about a lot of fish and a lot of things, and I just want to thank them again. It's been awesome.
I appreciate it. No problem, Kevin.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on. We've been trying to sort of plan to have Kendall on for a couple of weeks, and the schedules hadn't exactly worked out, but this week it worked out great. Prolific Breed, good to have you here in the chat with us.
Excellent. Welcome, Prolific. One thing, a little story I wanted to tell you. It's kind of funny. I came home today, and my wife had a fire going upstairs in the wood stove, and I was like, man, it feels nice in here. The house was warm. It was like 80-some degrees. Like, we had the back door open. She had a front window open, and I said to her, I said, what are you doing, trying to keep the fish nice and warm here? And she laughed at me. You know what she said? I had to write it down because it was funny, but she said, I got 99 problems, and your fish aren't one. And I thought that was pretty funny. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. My wife, she's a good sport about the fish and all that.
99 problems. 99 problems, and your fish aren't one of them.
Yeah, I kind of got a story to go along with that too. So I've been having a lot of humidity problems here in the fish room, and I went to the dollar store and just picked up a little desk fan that I had blowing, and it was on sway, and I guess my fiance had come home and seen that the fish room curtain was blowing. She said it looked like somebody was out there, and she texted me and asked me if I left the fan on, and I told her yeah, and she's like, well, I kind of thought somebody was in there, and I was like, well, you weren't going to go check on my fish? And she kind of said the same thing. She said, I'm glad that your fish's life is more important than mine. I just started laughing.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, the fish are pretty important, but probably not more important than those that we love.
No. You got to have your priorities. Oh, what's going on? A bunch of highs here in the chat. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Yeah, Prolific Breed.
How about you, Rick? You got a story to tell? Just a little funny story? Anything? Put you on the spot here.
One now. I can't think of one now. I mean, I tell funny stories all the time, don't I?
Yeah, I guess you do. Yeah, I'd probably let you slide on that.
I don't know. I try to. Like I said, I try. I'm the comic relief. You don't know if you know less, if you can be funny, then maybe people will like you anyway.
Good point.
No, it's been good to be here. I don't know. It's been about an hour. I don't know. We can keep going or we can wrap it up. It's been an hour and 15 minutes or so.
How many people are in here? I can't see.
13.
13. That's not bad.
We were up to, I think we had 23 in the chat at the highest point tonight. So
that's about the same as last week then. That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, some different people though, which is good, you know.
Yeah.
Just meet new people and have everybody here. Oh, Jeffro is live and Aquafunk is going live in 15 minutes. So
yeah. That's still, I mean, to have 20 some people, or even if we're at 13 right now, I mean, look at the size of our channels. You know, your channel is 260 some subscribers. Rick, Kendall, I think you just like 160 something. I'm like at 160. So I mean, really, our channels aren't any size to them really at all. We're just getting started, and we're pulling in 13 to 20 some people. That's a win in my book right there. I think we got some pretty engaged people here. So thank you for being here, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Ragnar got here a little late, but that's okay. But yeah, Learning to Fish Keep said Jeffro's always live, and he does have a lot of live streams. I notice he's live on like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
He likes it, and he gets quite a few people. And one LR Brett's, he the only way he puts video out is live. So.
Yep. Yeah, he had I seen a live stream of his couple days ago. It was over 200 people on it, I thought.
Yeah, he has a lot of viewers when he goes live. And he does it a lot of times really late at night, at least kind of late. It seems like about 10 o'clock or something like that my time. So but we appreciate, like I've always said before, we get quality over quantity with the people that join us. So that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for quantities necessarily. We're looking for quality.
There you go.
But anyway, I guess we could wrap it up for tonight if you want to, guys. We've had a good chat, had a lot of people here. And Aquafunk will be going live here in about 15 minutes. So I'll give everybody time to take a little break, head over to Aquafunk's channel, talk to him a little bit. This will only be his second live stream, I believe, or second one that I'm aware of. I know he was live last week on Thursday. I don't know if he's been live in between there or not, but
yeah.
All right, Kendall. It's been really.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah, Kendall.
What kind of catfish are those in the top left of your screen right now?
Yeah, you just saw those swim by, didn't you? I just noticed them over my shoulder too. Yeah, those are peppercorns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get pretty big. That's what I have in my 55-gallon.
Yeah, these are just in a little 10-gallon now. I'm probably gonna move them to a larger tank. I just put them in here. I got those from Susan at SLC Aquatics. So I got one female and 2 males. So hopefully we'll be getting some spawns from them too pretty soon. So.
Yeah, I think the last time I heard from you, you said that you didn't have any corridors. So I'm glad that you finally got some.
Yeah, well, I've had some panda cories that I have in my first tank. I got those. I may move them out of that community tank into a different tank because I'd like to see if they'd spawn too, but they haven't done anything yet, or either the eggs have been getting eaten by the fish in there, which is probably what's happening. So.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I just wanted to say, thanks for everybody coming out and hanging out with us, communicating with us here in the chat. We enjoy it. We definitely like being involved and engaged in what's going on, and I want to thank Kendall again for being on, and definitely want to welcome you back anytime you're willing and the schedules line up. And thanks to you too, Rick, for being the man on this one and hosting this one. I'll pick it up next week, and yeah, I had a blast. So thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, top secret. I guess we'll go over to Aquafunk's channel after this. That's where I'm probably going to go. So yeah, we can raid Aquafunk.
How long does anyone know for sure when he's going live? Is there confirmed time frame?
I think at 9. Someone said 15 minutes ago, and that was a few minutes. So
I'd also like to say if there's anyone in the chat that's interested in coming on and being a guest with me and Rick, hanging out here, talking to the fish fam, all this stuff, just let us know. If you guys got Google Hangouts, we can pretty much work it out and get you guys on here with us. So if you're interested, let us know in the chat or comments, and you can come hang out.
how do you spell this channel name? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Aquafunk? Correcting? Not Sandy. Yeah, and Bob, next week it's going to be on Maple Street's channel. So yes, next week we'll be on Maple Street's channel at 7:30 Central Time. On Maple Street's. His channel is Aquafunk Fish Freak without. Let me see.
It's a weird name, Aquafunk and Angel Freak or something like that. What's up, OG's Fish Room? Thanks for being here. You just pop in.
Yeah, but real quick before we get off here, and while Rick's trying to bring that up for him, I just want to thank these guys again for allowing me to come on their live streams. It's been a whole lot of fun, and I really love what they're doing in the hobby, and I can't wait for some of you to come on and join them. That way we can learn a little bit more about your fish rooms. And I love all these small channels. I try to subscribe to as many as I can because I actually get a lot of my ideas from other fish hobbyists. I know I don't just come up with them on my own, and that's the biggest part about this is just helping each other grow. So I appreciate you all letting me come on and share my fish room and share what's going on in my life.
Absolutely, yeah, I definitely agree 100% on that. And this is a good community of people. There's a nice bunch of people here. We can run down some names. We got Bob Kaler's Fish Hobby, Arachnid Aquatics, Learning to Fish Keep, Jeremy's Wild Studio, Prolific Breed, OG's Fish Room, Andy Schwager, Top Secret Aquatics. I think that's about it. Well, I can see Prolific Breed. A lot of you guys all got great channels, smaller channels. Some of you are a little bit bigger, but yeah, we appreciate you guys, and you know, we are you guys. We're all friends here, and we're all doing the same thing. We're keeping fish and showing our experiences and what works for us, and that's the most enjoyment I get out of it, is just kind of hanging out with you guys and seeing what you're doing, and comparing it to what I'm doing.
What have you been doing, Aquarium Cop? You been lurking in the backgrounds, or did you just show up?
Oh, look at that.
He said that was great, Otter, like he's seen the whole thing and he's been quiet this whole time.
He must have been lurking or silently observing. Cool. Thanks for being here, Aquarium Cop. There you go. He's a big name. Everybody knows Aquarium Cop. So
yeah, I love watching
good people like that.
If you ever get a chance to go over and check his videos out, they're pretty cool. They're always set to music, always flashy. I always love his videos.
Yeah, very good.
All right, guys, we'll close it up. Like we said, one last time, Aquafunk's going live at 8, about 10 minutes from now. 9 o'clock, I'm sorry, 9 o'clock my time. 9 o'clock Central in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that gave you time to get a snack, stretch your legs, use the bathroom, whatever you got to do. You're ready for Aquafunk. And you might as well, when you go over there, when you pop in, just throw the fish mob up. Let them hear about the fish mob. We did that to him once before, so might as well do it again, even though we ain't on there directly. So.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, we'll be next week on Brandon's channel, so check us out then Thursday at 7:30 Central Time. So good having everybody here. We're going to shut it down.
Yep.
And see y'all again soon.
All right, guys. Appreciate it again, and can't wait till you guys invite me back again.
All right. Sounds good. See you, everybody. Peace.